Hello, my lovely friends. I'm so happy to see you here today. You know, I have something important to talk about, something we don't always think about, but it affects so many of us. You see, we often talk about aggression as something physical, something obvious, right? But today I want to talk about something a bit sneakier, something that hides in the shadows, indirect aggression. It's the kind of thing that leaves you questioning yourself, wondering if you're just imagining it. But sweetheart, you are not imagining it. So let's talk about female bullying. Now, right off the bat, let me be clear. This is not a conversation about why women are bad, because most women are wonderful, empathetic, and kind. No, this is about a particular kind of bullying that, yes, often comes from women, but can come from anyone. And it's sneaky, it's indirect, and it can be so emotionally draining that it leaves you feeling completely isolated. And here's the thing, it's so subtle that sometimes you don't even realize it's happening until you're deep in it. You know those little things? The eye rolls, the crossed arms, the cold shoulders. It's not always about shouting or obvious insults. No. It's the little things. The things they don't say. The way they exclude you without ever saying a word. And oh, it's so frustrating because how do you fight something that isn't even openly happening? How do you say, stop ignoring me, when they can just smile and say, what? I didn't do anything. It's a masterclass in plausible deniability. They create this gray zone where nothing is clear, nothing is direct. And when you try to confront it, when you ask, why did you say that about me? They turn it back on you. Oh, you're overreacting. Why are you so sensitive? And there you are, feeling foolish, like maybe you are imagining it. But trust me, you're not. This is how indirect aggression works. Now, this isn't just about someone being mean or having a bad day. This kind of bullying can have deep, long-lasting effects. Studies have shown that victims of indirect aggression often don't even recognize they're being bullied. They just feel awful, isolated, and unsure of themselves. And the worst part, there's often no one to turn to because it's so hard to prove something that's not happening in the open. So let's talk about what this looks like in real life. Imagine you're in a group of friends and slowly you start to notice little things. Maybe you're not invited to certain events. Maybe someone makes a joke at your expense, and when you don't laugh, they say, oh, come on, can't you take a joke? It's these small, cutting moments that pile up, and you start to feel like the outsider. You're pushed to the edges of the group, into that gray zone where nothing is explicit, but you can feel it. And when you finally muster the courage to ask, why wasn't I invited? Or why did you say that? What happens? They turn it on you. Suddenly, you're the one overreacting. You're the one who's making things difficult. They'll say things like, oh, you're just too sensitive. Or, I didn't mean it like that. You're being crazy. It's this cycle of making you feel like you are the problem. And that, my dear, is what we call retaliatory, humiliation. They push you to the point of defending yourself and then they shame you for it. It's an emotional chess game and they have been playing it for a long time. But here's the good news. You don't have to play by their rules anymore. You can step off the board, refuse to engage, and that's what I want to talk about today, how to protect yourself from this kind of manipulation. The first thing you need to understand is that this kind of bullying thrives in the shadows. It works best when no one is talking about it. when everyone just pretends it's not happening. So the first step is to bring it into the light. No, I don't mean confronting them directly. Remember, that just triggers more of their games. But you can acknowledge it in subtle ways. You can say things like, I noticed I wasn't invited, that's okay, but I just wanted to mention it. It's about raising awareness, showing them that you see what's happening without giving them the ammunition to attack you further. And don't underestimate the power of humor. If you can make a light, witty comment about being left out, something like, oh, I guess I missed the memo again, huh? No worries, I'll catch up next time. It can diffuse the situation and show them that you're not going to be an easy target. Humor is a great tool because it keeps things light, but it also lets them know that you are not oblivious to their tactics. Now, here's something else that might surprise you. Bullies, especially the indirect kind, are often terrified of retaliation. They pick their targets carefully. They choose people who won't fight back, people who they think are easy to manipulate. So one of the best ways to protect yourself is to make it clear in subtle ways that you are not that person. You don't have to be aggressive or confrontational, but you can show that you're aware and that you're strong. And oh, this is a big one. Don't let them isolate you. The whole goal of these tactics is to push you out of the social circle, to make you feel like you don't belong. But you can fight back by building connections with other people, even outside that group. The more social support you have, the less power they have over you. If you feel excluded from one group, find another. Build your own circle of friends who see you, who value you. That's your real strength. Now, let's talk a little about triggers. You might be surprised to learn that making new friends or starting to feel more confident can actually trigger a bully. Isn't that crazy? But it's true. If you suddenly start taking care of yourself, dressing better, losing weight, whatever it is that boosts your confidence, it can make you a target. Why? Because it threatens their sense of control. It makes them feel insecure. So remember, if you're making positive changes in your life and suddenly someone starts treating you badly, it's not because you've done something wrong, it's because they feel threatened. And let's not forget about the power dynamics in small groups. Bullying tends to be much worse in smaller friend groups, where the power dynamics are more intense. If you find yourself in a small toxic group, one of the best things you can do is expand your social circle. In larger groups, it's harder for a bully to control everything. You have more options, more allies. Oh, and one more thing before we wrap up. If you ever feel like you're being bullied, especially in those sneaky, indirect ways, please don't blame yourself. This is not about you being weak or oversensitive. It's about someone else feeling threatened and taking it out on you. And you don't deserve that. You deserve kindness, support, and friendship. So surround yourself with people who lift you up, who make you feel seen and heard. And when you spot those little red flags, trust your gut. So my dear friends, I hope today's chat has helped shed some light on this sneaky kind of bullying. You are strong, you are capable, and you have every right to protect yourself from anyone who tries to make you feel small. Thank you so much for being here with me today. You're not alone in this, and together we can all support each other and rise above the nonsense. Stay strong, stay kind, and always remember, you are worth so much more than someone else's insecurities. Until next time, take care and don't forget, you're amazing just the way you are.